Today, guys, we're going to be looking at a brand new game called Duper, which is a strategy-based game you could play right now in your web browser by clicking on the link in the description down below. And that is correct, and it honestly shocked me when I got introduced to Duper, because this is a web browser game, no client, no download is needed, and you can just honestly click and play. And today, I'm going to explain what Duper is, because this game at first does look a little complicated on the surface, but within 2 minutes of playing the game, you will honestly feel like it's the easiest thing in your life. So let's break down what is Duper. Duper is a strategy-based game which is very similar to Risk, where you're going to be in a 5-man free-for-all on a board where you're going to be fighting for territorial control. There is going to be 2 ways that you can win the game. The first one is your standard territorial objective win, right? So you can win by having 11 tiles controlled. So this is where you're going to be fighting other players, and obviously there's going to be a little bit of diplomacy that's involved. But where Duper really shines and honestly changes and gives it its real personality that you fall in love with is the card system, which is poker inspired, and the trade and diplomacy that you go through each game. Because in this game, you're going to be able to trade poker cards with other players to create hands for power-ups. And that is the best way of explaining it. So if you've got 2 pairs, right? So you've got a pair of cards, you're going to be able to create a tank, for example. If you go through and get a straight, you can create a research center, for example. So, and it explains all of these buildings and how you can obtain them through the UI, which is honestly really good for new players when you're just starting out on the tutorial. So that is what Duper is. It's basically strategy, diplomacy, with a little bit of poker all involved. And the objective is to win the game by either, as I've explained already, you can get a tile objective of 11, or if you're a little bit sneaky and you really want to push the limit, you can try and win through the straight flush. Everyone knows the straight flush in poker is the best hand in the game, and it's no problem to introduce it in Duper. And it's a really clever way that you can try and hide cards and go for an alternate win condition. On top of this, which makes Duper even more honestly interesting, is the fact that you may not win the game, but you could potentially win a lot more in return. Because the way Duper reward system actually works is through a gem system. And every player will get an allocated amount of gems at the start of the game. And anytime I trade with a different player, I give them a gem. And anytime that player now technically attacks or defends against me, they do get a +1 damage bonus because of that gem. And on top of this, if I win, or maybe they win the game, depending on how the gems have been distributed, we both will get rewarded for it. So sometimes I might not even want to win the game, but I want to help Orange potentially win, which is really interesting and makes a really dynamic approach where certain players really don't care about other players while some do. And this is what makes Duper honestly really in-depth, because it's a really basic game, and then it takes it to that next advancement level. And what we're going to do in this video is actually go through a tutorial AI mission and kind of go through the whole process so you can see one game every turn and play it out together. And I will apologize in advance if some of the turns are fast. What I will do is between turns explain my thought process and what you're going to be able to do in the game. So with that, let's dive in. So if you click the link in the description down below, this is what potentially you may look if you've signed up to the game. If not, it's fine. You will be playing through the tutorial battleground located here at the very top, right? So just play through the tutorial battleground, understand in a 1v1 situation the basic mechanics. And once you've done that, you're going to be able to honestly play through. And what you're going to get is these sparks. And these are the currency in game that you're going to be basically anteing against other players when you're going into lobbies. And we're going to kind of emulate that today with a custom mode against some bots, right? You can see there is casual modes and even ranked modes to enter, which is really cool, as well as even tournaments up at the top here that you're able to participate in, right? So let's go into a custom mode, let's create a game, and we're going to use Sparks, which is the main game currency. If you are wondering what this other currency is, this does run on Ethereum, which is a blockchain, which is technically crypto. So if you are someone that is a crypto head, go ahead, you can go for that. But for me, I'm not a crypto guy, so I'm actually just playing this as a normal game. So we're going to be running only Sparks in this lobby. So here you can see it's going to be 10 Sparks as an entry fee. So anyone of your friends joining are going to be gambling those 10 Sparks as well. So you can see that is the game stake. We're going to fill this with bots so we can obviously play a game here. But you can see this is the code at the top. You can just click on this nice little copy button. It will copy it down at the game root ID. And you just paste that to your friends and they can just honestly play this game. It's that simple, right? So let's start our game and we'll go through the full process for you guys. And you can kind of see how this plays out, because even when you're deciding turn order, DUPER does a really fun emulation of basically a bid war, right? And the way the bid war works is the first round, no one can see anything. So you can see right now, I've got 45 seconds to bid if I want to be in position 1. And that is basically the dealer position. And what that means is you go first, but on the board, you're going to be in a more open area and you're going to see that straight away. If you're in either obviously orange, green, blue, or even purple, you're going to be positioned in a more safer location. So sometimes you might not even want to go first. You might actually want to go into one of these other colors, right? But if you do want to win this, you would technically have to raise this spark in this area and hopefully you win your opening bid. Because what happens is once this timer hits 0, you're going to go into a frenzy mode. So now everyone can see what's been bidded. And now you can technically raise even more. Potentially, if you was, say, in second place and you did want to go first, you could technically raise a little bit more. And then all of those sparks are put into the pot. And obviously, whoever wins, it's going to be split in. And we'll showcase all of that, obviously, at the end of this video. So we're going to be going first. And you're going to see why going first is obviously really important. But the sacrifice that you are gonna make. This is again all on our web browser. Remember, we're not playing this on no client, no nothing, and it's honestly it's so smooth to run, which is kind of crazy. So this is what the opening game looks like, and I have basically a few seconds to obviously decide what I'm gonna do. So I am gonna play out my turn, which is gonna create some troops, and the way I'm creating troops is just clicking on the building, hitting on the little icon, and down at the bottom you can see I've got 5 total gold currency. So that's how we're producing our strength. And just like Risk, we're going to actually start to attack some of these locations. So boom, we've hit this location. Nice, we've got 1 kill. And when we're going first, which is a benefit to us, you'll notice down at the bottom here, we have an attack point. And each turn, you're going to gain 1 attack point. But if you're going first like me, you do have the ability to attack twice, which is really, really interesting. So if you have the time, you can obviously attack twice, get 2 attacks going, and happy days. What you can do in between turns, though, as you'll notice, I can still produce troops, right? I can still do stuff and prepare for my next turn. So what we're going to be trying to do is do some trading. Let's start involving now the card system, because I think the board game is quite self-explanatory, and I think you guys can probably understand what we're trying to do here, right? So we're going to try an example. We're going to go and attack this level 1 tile here. We're going to build up some troops, and then we're going to attack another tile in time this time. So boom. So we've got double attacks here. Claim, get that currency. Claim, get that currency as well. And sometimes when you do defeat tiles, just like I was about to say, you could sometimes get a card. And this is where things get really interesting, because this is where I could be going for a straight flush. I could be going for a run, a triple, right? I could do quite a lot of different stuff. So what we'll do is get rid of the heart for it. We'll keep kind of like a flush opener. And then obviously people are playing out their turns, right? So what we want to do is start trading and doing some diplo with players, right? We've got a 10. And as you see at the top left, we're touching Green's territory. And because we're touching Green's territory, I can see his cards, right? So what we're going to do is get rid of this. We're nearly getting a straight. It's getting rid of the straight flush potential, but you know what? We'll take it. And what we could do is technically trade with this player, right? We could trade for anything here, right? I could click on him and say, right, I want to trade this 10, right? I want the 10, or even the ace. Let's go for the ace and give him the 7, right? Confirm. Obviously, this is a bot, so they're going to accept most likely the whole, you know, trade, which is fine. But in a real game, sometimes they may not do that, right? So what we're going to do is push out and kind of enforce our little free zones and kind of play out our turn a little bit more slowly now, because we can do things again while we're doing our opponent's turn. Remember that. So try and play out your main attack actions in your turn, and then if you're going to build up your army, do it in your opponent's turn. See, it honestly makes your timer management a lot easier. So what I'm going to introduce to you is a building, right? So the first thing you can do here is look at the research center. And in order to build this research center here, you're going to need either a 3 of a kind or a straight. So we can do that. We've got a 10 Jack Queen straight. That's 3 cards that run in the same order. And it's going to cost us no gold. So we can produce that on our tile. And by producing that research center, we can choose a special research for our turn. We can either put a fort researcher down, meaning we can actually get forts in the game. We can actually do plane researches. We can actually produce planes, which is ranged. And I'm going to leave that for another video just so we don't blow your minds in today. And then we can also pick economist, right? We could also pick the economist 1, right? So we could have either done either of them. So by picking either one of those researchers, we would have gained some special tech, obviously, against our opponents. What we're going to do, though, because people have been trading our cards as we were explaining that, we're going to build a tank with a pair of cards and we're going to expand out. We're going to try and expand out and keep pushing our gold, basically, because that's kind of the aim of the game still, right? We're still needing to do that. So I've just built a tank. If you're wondering how I built that tank, all we did was get a pair of cards, just like we've done there. So we've got a pair of 2s now. And what we can do is click on our main home base and produce that tank, right? So we've got a pair of cards, produce it, boom, we've got a tank in game. And what we can do is actually move them, right? So we can move these guys 2 spaces, which is what is the tank's special kind of ability. They do have a little bit more damage, but they can move 2 spaces compared to normal soldiers, which can only move 1 space, as you could probably imagine in this game, right? So now we're going to let these turns play out, and we're going to start to try and win this game, because you can see now in the objectives here, we've got a toil to win, which is 5 out of 11, and we can see we're almost getting there. And then straight flush is 0 out of 1. We're not going to go for that. We're going to try and go for the tile objective here. So what we're going to do is go for some big pushes. We need to obviously get some troops. We need to get better gold. And obviously, by getting better gold, we can chain even more troops. So we've got 2 objectives there. So the first one I'm going to do is actually go for more gold. Because if we can get more gold, that's going to obviously impact our whole strategy better, right? Because that means we're going to be able to technically train more troops, expand quicker, and do the whole charades, right? So we're going to use a special card there. Sometimes these do appear each turn, which is kind of cool. You can get gold, you can get Ute troops. That time we just got 4 tanks, which was kind of nice, right? We'll take the 4 tanks. And by doing that, it's allowed us to quickly expand out. I'm going to reinforce my areas because I really do want to protect my zones. So the way the combat actually works in this game, and I've got time to explain this, is if we zoom in into just these 2 tiles, for example, that we've got, if I attack his guy is going to get a defense bonus because he's got troops next to him. And these 2 will basically kind of crossfire and help each other. Same applies on my side. So if I have got these troops here, this 8 will also support it, and vice versa. So what you really want to do when it comes to obviously progressing and pushing your troops and trying to expand, you do need to make sure your troops are kind of touching each other, because that's going to be more defensive and it's going to allow you to protect your expansions as you've had. So you can see right here a really good example. I just was at base 8 and now I've got over 17 attack because I have got such a massive buff from basically trading with that player, as well as I've got the tank in the back, which is obviously supporting it. So this is why it's really important to understand, you know, the little bit of the defense, because we're going through it again. Our guy just had a base of 5 attack and it gained a massive boost, all because it was adjacent to something, right? And it had that gem buff potential, right? This is why you really need to take advantage of positioning troops correctly and thinking a little bit outside the box. So here's going to be a good example. There's no troops on this tile, and I'm going to take it completely for free. And the beautiful thing about doing that is I've expanded my territory for a win, and I can still produce troops here to protect the zone I've kind of left. Now I've got more stuff in hand. So let's start to actually do some trades and get things on the roll, right? So I'm going to trade with orange because I want that queen, and I'm going to trade him for 7, get rid of that 7 for the queen. And that's going to give us a straight, and I'm going to put a research center down, and I'm going to start creating now more gold per turn. And I'm going to do that by using the economist research tech. And I want to give you guys a little bit of a heads up before I do it, so you guys understand what is going on, right? So if I click on here now, go to the research center, hit the produce button, we're going to hit the economist. You can see this, it gives me an additional 1 yield of currency every round. And by doing that, it's in this building, and my troops that are on the field can protect it too, which is a really cool feature in this game. Unfortunately, I don't have any gold, so if you were wondering why I can't produce the tank, it's because I don't have 1 gold for that pair. So that gives you a really good, hopefully, explanation now on like why the card system works so well with the board game, how it's integrated together and they work hand in hand with each other. And with doing that, you'll have seen through the course of the game, you've been paying attention and you've been looking around on the UI. Down at the bottom here is my gems. And you can see I've got 9 gems still. If we look at orange, we've got 1 in there, 2 in green, and 2 in blue. Meaning, if blue or green potentially wins this game, I would get a bit of a pot extra from them because I've helped them win the game and I've kind of invested my turn into them, right? And you can see the game's kind of naturally trading for me now because I'm going to let it do that. And we're going to just go for basically the kill. That's what I'm going to say. We're going to go for some nasty, expansive pushes here. So we're going to push into this territory. We're even going to create some troops onto the tile we've just lost. We're going to pull across and actually take control of this zone as well. And then we do have a very kind of close call. Is this guy going to attack this or is it going to attack this? I reckon it's going to attack here. So we're going to move our troops across. So basically both sides are fully protected. This guy is a little bit, I'm not feeling it. So do you know what? We're going to pull back into the main base just to protect our troops. If we lose that tile, it's not end of the world. I can fight back that tile. I believe. I only need to win 3 more tiles and I've won the game. That's the way I'm thinking right now. So if I can steal or even complete these PvE tiles, it's going to allow me to honestly win, right? So this guy wants to trade his 3 of clubs for my 10 of hearts. And you know what? I'm actually going to accept that because that's going to give me another tank, right? So we're going to claim that card. We're going to grab the trade. Boom. We've got the trade in. We've got the pair of 3s. We're going to produce the tank now. And we're going to drop them in. And nice and easy there. So what we're going to do, we're going to do something kind of crazy. We're going to go for an attack here. We're going to go for the kill. It's 7 versus 12. Way bigger. Let's bomb them down. Nice. So we've got another point on our side. We love that. Here we can't take, so we can't do that. Here is going to be questionable too. So we need to think, okay, how are we going to expand? So the best way I know to expand is always attacking from the center of the base. And that's why I've left these tiles to quite late in the game. We've got 13 attack here. And what we'll do is next turn, blow through here. That's going to be my punch through. So we only need 2 more tiles. I'm protecting as much as I can, the best I can, right? Yes, these are open, but I think I can fight for these back. So we're going to enter, we're going to pass it back to obviously AI, and we're going to play this through. So hopefully you understand now kind of how to play Duper, because honestly it is a really interesting game. And you can see Orange. Oh, Orange is trying to start fire with me, boys. And I'm not liking it, because look at it. Green understands the situation, so he's not pushing into my territory. But orange, bro, I ain't liking the fact that you just stole one of my tiles. I'm going to go and actually declare war on your ass. That's the way we're playing this game, honestly. You can see some nice little pushes coming out. Unfortunately, pink does take that PvE tile that I was looking for. So it is what it is. And we're going to claim... Ooh, we're going to claim this card. Last time I pressed the wrong button. And here's a nice economic, you know, kind of currency, you know, power up. So this is going to give me 4 gold. So I can go for a big push. One thing that I've not talked about in this game yet, and I've kind of left it right to the end, so you guys have kind of understood what the game is, you are able to upgrade your capital here. So by doing this, you're going to net, as you can see, more gold, and you're going to get a random reward, and you're going to get more attack bonus as well. So you can see all of these players are level 2, and I'm only level 1, like orange, and that's why I do feel confident attacking orange. I'm going to be real with you. I feel kind of confident. Oh, he beats me! No! Oh no, he got the gem buff and the thingy buff. That's not good on my end. I lost so much for doing so. So what we're going to do is play defensive. We're going to have to. So we're going to drop some troops. We're going to go super troop heavy. We could have gone for the capital upgrade if we potentially won and then kind of pushed out. I would have gone for that next turn. But this turn, we need to honestly just bulk up. So I'm going to bulk up this side. We're going to bulk up this side. We're also, we can give up this tile. We're going to bulk up this side as well. Even with 2 units, you'd be surprised this is going to do enough damage because of potential of the crossfire from the tank and from the soldiers. That's why I've placed it on that tile. So 3 tiles to go, 3 tiles to go. I could have probably played this a lot better if I wasn't obviously doing a live commentary explanation while we played the game, but it is what it is. They push through here. They're trying to fight my guys, my 9 versus their 5. Basically, not good on them. Same again on this side. 14 kills those guys. Nice. Good defense. Good defense we've got up here. People are basically just losing troops for no reason. Let's see if they're going to go for another push here. Is it going to be... Ooh, Ping's looking scary. Ooh, there we go. Ping's going to go and fight blue. Beats blue. Pushes out on that embankment. Not too bad. Hit to confirm here. So now we need to get rid of these guys. I'm gonna be honest. I ain't feeling these guys so close to my base. I'm gonna be real. So what we're gonna do is steal this and block them off from any sort of buffs, and then we're gonna produce. We're just gonna kill them. Oh, we can't because we're just stealing that. My bad. I forgot. This is what I mean, guys. You got to remember the base. You get 1 attack point per turn. I forgot I went for the double attack a few turns ago. So we still need to just basically bulk up. So we're going to just do that. So let's just produce some in the home base, which is nice. And then we're going to reproduce the 2 on that tile to protect that we've got. We only need to basically win 2 tiles. So we can either go up into this green section or... Oh, here we go. He's going for the fight and he loses it. Look at that. Big gem buff, big defense buff on my red against orange here. Obliterated. Love it. So that's going to give me a free space here. So we might be able to push down. That might be the go-to now. Push down, enforce, and basically get orange to attack me. Be like, look, if you want to expend out, this is the only way you're going to be able to expend out is attacking me. And by doing that, if I win every defensive fight, I can just steal the tiles for free. Same with up top here. We've got a free one up here that we can steal. So we might just do that. So we've got the cards. We're going to just simply go and, you know what? We're going to drop and steal this here. And we're going to enforce our troops the best we can. So here we're going to put 4 troops. So it's 7 and 7. And then we'll just put the 1 troop back on here. So we're really forcing Orange's hand. Orange has to attack us. Do you understand? This is kind of what the strategy is for me. He's going to try and steal this. That's fine. I can just take that back, honestly. But I'm really trying to force his hand here. I'm going to put, most likely, some troops and take back this land. You can see green wants me to win. You can see the AI green really wants me to win. So he doesn't want to take my tiles. He's trying to just take the PvE tiles and obviously push through. They want to trade my 10 for your 9. I'm going to decline that. And we got the king. We got the... Ooh, we got some spiciness that could happen here. I'm just going to be honest. We got some spiciness that could happen. I can go for another straight, which could be kind of crazy. But what we'll do is we'll do some trades. I'm going to go for his jack. We're going to get a pair of jacks. I actually like the tanks in this game. So we're going to go for a big push here. And this is a scary push, but we're going to go for it. We're going to go 13 into this guy. Let's see. Boom. Nice. So now we've retaken that land. We've got it defended. We're going to now drop down here. Oh, we can't drop any troops. So we're going to move these troops across. Move these troops into the research center. Everything basically is protected. Green's not going to contest, which is nice. Liking it, liking it. 1 tile to go. 1 more tile. 1 more tile. Absolutely love it. Here we go. They're going for the attack here. We get the gem buff. We get the defense buff. Absolutely. Boom. And that is what I was hoping would play out last turn, right? That's my plan. I got them. Yo, Green, what are you doing? Hey, Green, chill. Chill, my dude. I had victory for us both, my friend. We had victory. We had it. And he just... No. Right, it is what it is. We're going to just go and steal some tiles. We're going to have to. Right, so we're going to get rid of this. Perfect. So we need to reinforce every tile, basically. That's the best way of putting it, right? So we're going to produce a tank. Move the tank out. Tank's in position. Everything's guarded. We're going to expand. Oh, I've got an idea. We'll expand here. And we can steal this next turn, right? So I really do need to emphasize this point. So we're going to boom. And we're going to produce some troops here. Right. Every space is defended. They have to put on a show if they're going to beat me here. They have to, right? So let's see. Let's see what happens. Green, drop some troops down. They go for attack. 14 plus 1 plus 4. Let's go. Destroyed with the tank crossfire coming in. Love to see it. Exactly what we need. As long as no one takes our territory here, we are going to win. We are finally going to win and basically showcase how the reward structure is done in Duper. And obviously make this video come to an end for you guys. And I hope you guys have been enjoying the Duper gameplay and basically just what it's all about, because it is so fun. And with this one attack here, we're going to end the game. So just to make things a little bit cooler, we'll just produce 1 more tank just by using that pair. We'll put that over here and then boom, let's attack. Yes, we did it. So we win, and this is where you're going to see now how the reward structure is going to be played out. So obviously I won, and I actually kind of saved a lot of my gems, which is really good. However, the orange and blue, like I said, they did quite a couple of trades with me. And because they did some trades, they actually put gems into me, and they took a little bit extra in the payout, right? So they don't lose too much on this, right? But I obviously got the biggest payout. You can imagine in a real game against actual players, this is going to look a lot different. There's going to be a lot more trades happening, and things could honestly look completely different. But in an AI game, this is kind of a really simple and best way to explain it. If we click here and go on how our rewards distributed, you can see the winner gets their initial stake back. Then the rest of the pot is proportionally allocated to players based on how many winners gem each has. Visit the game docs for more details, and you can go onto the main website to check that out. And that is it. That is the game. And honestly, I have been loving Dupe, and I've been playing this and just getting to the grasps of it. And I can't wait to obviously play a lot more casual games with other players, as well as potentially go for my first ranked game on it. Tell me your thoughts on the comments down below, what you think to Duper. Does it look interesting? Is it something that's completely new, unique, that you honestly look like, you know, you would look like to play, right? And have I done a good job of explaining what this game is? Because that is what the whole point of today's video was. So with that, smash like, comment, and subscribe. Until the next one, guys, stay safe, stay sneaky. Peace out.